The Obrex Crystal Forest. After escaping the Vra'kor fortress, he decided he would find a way to repair his ship, and he decided he would start by finding a way to recharge its fuel, Obrex Crystal. The Obrex forest was unlike any forest Darius had ever known. No trees, no roots, no leaves, only colossal crystal pillars jutting from the ground like the spine of an ancient creature, towering, cold, glowing with a faint pink light from deep within their cores. As he stepped in, the entire space seemed to change color instantly, shifting into a distorted palette between red and purple, as if the sky had been dragged down and smeared across the earth. Darius inhaled slowly, his breath condensed into a thin layer of mist clinging to his visor, reflecting the multicolored crystal pillars swaying slightly in the hot wind. Each Obrex pillar let out a long, faint hum, quiet but sharp like stretched glass. Every frequency touched his chest, making his ribs vibrate in an unpleasant rhythm. "Hang in there. Just need to find the energy source," he rasped. Inside the suit, sweat ran down his sides, even though the temperature was dropping fast. The Obrex forest always had strange weather. The deeper one went, the colder the air became, as if the crystals were sucking the heat out of everything. Darius moved carefully through the narrow gaps. He knew that just brushing too hard against an Obrex surface could crack the crystal and trigger a deadly energy pulse. But he kept going, because the signal from the makeshift detector he had built from ship scraps and a crystal core was pointing toward a center, deep in the forest. The place where the ancient energy concentrated strongest. And if he could extract it, the SEU ship might have a chance to live again. Behind him, tiny sounds echoed. Crackle, like someone touching a crystal with their fingertips, pulling lightly, testing hardness, then withdrawing. Darius froze. His heart pounded. He turned slowly. No one. Only tightly packed Obrex pillars, reflecting his silhouette into hundreds of distorted copies. But he felt it clearly. Something was watching him. A warm draft brushed the back of his neck, raising every hair. His instincts screamed, not Vra'kor, not Gorvax. This thing was smarter, more patient, and it knew exactly what he was doing. He swallowed hard, then continued walking. Faster now, more hurried. The pillars grew larger and larger, some several meters thick, forming glistening walls. Between them, smaller crystals sprouted like thorns. Just one stumble and they would shatter, and Obrex always exploded in chains. The space began to darken as the sunlight was swallowed by the thick crystal canopy. Darius switched on his light. The beam from his headlamp bounced across countless violet-pink surfaces, breaking into thousands of shifting reflections, as if everything was alive, watching him through hundreds of transparent eyes. As he stepped through a narrow corridor, the ground beneath him trembled slightly. Thump! Thump! A deep rumble, like the heartbeat of a planet. Darius stepped back, gripping the improvised spear he had made from ship scraps. The ground shook a second time, then a third, stronger. This is bad. Darius turned to retreat from the corridor when a red streak tore across the crystal canopy, reflecting off every surface, creating glowing red veins like burning arteries. The Obrex crystals began to glow in reaction. A crack rang out, sharp and piercing like a blade stabbing straight into his ears. Then a deeper sound, a low moan, like a giant whale groaning beneath the sea. Darius understood instantly. The chain reaction was starting. He sprinted forward, sliding across crystal dust, avoiding the Obrex pylons shaking violently on both sides. The red light intensified, like flames crawling through the cores of the crystals trying to escape. Cracks overlapped in rapid succession. Crack! 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 An explosion roared behind him. A burst of red tore through the corridor like a blade of light. The shockwave flung Darius off the ground, hurling him into the air. He slammed into a crystal pillar, pain bursting across his back, and it then tumbled across a mixture of sand and glass. Gah! A metallic screech shrieked above him. A huge piece of Obrex crashed down, stabbing into the sand just a few handspans from his head. He rolled, scrambling away. His vision blurred from dust and blinding light. His ears rang. But he could still see the horror unfolding around him. The entire crystal forest was exploding in a chain reaction, each massive Obrex pillar splitting open and firing red beams like colossal fireworks. Heat washed over his face even though the crystals absorbed part of it. The air vibrated as if hundreds of engines were roaring at once. Darius ran. He didn't know where, only that he had to escape the collapsing zone. But the ground trembled again beneath him. From deep below, a colossal sound rose, like metal grinding against itself. In that instant, he understood what was happening. The explosion had destroyed the Obrex layer supporting the forest. The ground was breaking apart. A long crack ripped through the earth right in front of him, only a few centimeters wide at first, then widening rapidly like a mouth opening. Darius tried to stop, but his momentum was too strong. He slipped, stepping off the edge. No. His whole body dropped into the void, wind screaming around him. He plunged through the darkness, feeling everything stretch away. Red streaks from the explosion above illuminated the crack's jagged walls and twisted patterns. Darius reached out for something to grab, but found only shards and sand. He wanted to scream, but the rushing air filled his throat. His body kept falling. And just before he hit the absolute darkness below, a massive crystal pillar rose from the bottom of the chasm, red light running along its length like veins. He slammed into it. Everything went black.